perimeter to make sure that they don't have vision on that backside.
Burning's already left, so IG won't force the issue any further. You find that Observer Ward with the sentry. But Burning's trying to finish up his Echo Saber before probably the next engagement.
There's a lot of things that IG need to worry about when pushing this tower. Firstly, Chaotic Offerings coming off cooldown in 5 seconds. That's a big team fight ultimate that you don't really want to fight into. And secondly, the positioning of the Axe and the Pudge, it just makes it very, very difficult to actually beat on the tower and feel safe at the same time. No tail.
Oh, call is nice. Gust as well. Weaver push back a little bit further. They can't bring him in range for Culling Blade just yet, so Ana needs to get that stun off and hold the Weaver in position, which allows that Culling Blade to happen. And now a little bit of damage into the tier 1 tower. If Ana tanks this, no tail can kill it.
But we'll go ahead. Kind of no business being there. He just walked right on top of the Drow Ranger.
Oh, Jirax. If he can get this hook as well, he was just coming over to try and contest the bounty rune, so gets the hook into the dismember with Rot turned on. Winter Wyvern will have to cold embrace to try and survive this. Might buy enough time for Ember Spirit to arrive. OP is connected through Fatal Bonds, not quite certain what to, but Ana also in through the side. Breathe Fire will get the kill over on the Wyvern, so it's a trade-off. So he's connected to the mid lane with the Fatal Bonds.
OG's getting a lot more objectives off of this, and they don't even have to expend Rock for that bottom tower. They do have to use Dragon Form, and that's still going to be down for a good 60, 70 seconds for them.
But it's still really good farm for Burning.
Top tower is under attack.
So that Echo Saber we're talking about is now completed. So 14, 15 minutes in, get the casual Blightstone and Armlet and Echo Saber with Phase Brute. So that's a lot of maneuverability plus the initiation combo with Slaughter.
I think the amount of farm on those two is compounded by the problem that Drow actually does not have that much farm. She really needs a pike so she can just push herself away from when Lifestealer jumps on her, or they're going to have to rely on other external factors like Warlock, Chaotic Offering, or a Blink Axe Call, which you might not necessarily want to use onto the Drow Ranger that early into the fight. You want her to be self-sufficient.
Crush, and that's one very dead fly. S4 actually blinked in to get the Cold Dragging Lifestealer close to the tier 2 tower, but he's got friends in the form of the Ember Spirit and OG. They not only lose their Warlock, they lose their Axe and their tier 1 tower as well.
Lifestealer and Slardar at work.
It's a ruthless combination. There's a reason why the Chinese have such a high win rate when they run this 3-position Slaughter. You talk about important moments in the game, but 15 minutes in, you're able to take big initiations on tankier cores, and then you can just move yourself over. This might be a little bit more difficult than they anticipate, but with the Observer Ward up next to the Shrine, they understand what OG is up to. They know they burnt to smoke, and that sentry was too far out, so Fly will have to drop another one if he wants to find the other obs.
And they will find it.
Yeah.
So they know everything kind of that happened there. It was too suspicious because IG backed off right as soon as they smoked down the hill, so they need to have vision to hit on.
Does OG try and take this themselves? Like they have Chaotic Offering up, and you've just picked up an Arcane Rune on the DK.
I think it's very, very compromising because of the Winter Wyvern. If Winter Wyvern gets a half-decent ult, which is very easy inside the pit, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. S4 is also not at full HP because he just took out an Ancient Stag, so you don't have all your team members fighting at full health. You don't really want to use a Shrine, I think, for one person. They do have the Warlock heal to top them off, but ideally you'd have an Urn plus a Warlock heal, so you'd be in fighting shape. And it looks like Slaughter has been reinfested with the Lifestealer inside of him. Lifestealer is way ahead of the Drow Ranger.
Yep. 7.7k net worth for him. Overall, the advantage is not as high up for IG as I thought it was going to be. Like it's hovering around that 1.5 for gold and 1k for experience. Blink in the crush. Okay, that timing was a little bit off. Ana gets the stun off. Remember, there's still a Lifestealer inside that, but the Weaver caught and dunked down. Just like she get the buff up and the hook in. Can then she get the disable off on the Winter Wyvern? He never got the curse off, so Ana can move away. Armor toggled down with the Feather Bonds. They're all connected. Slaughter is dying right now. He almost died. If Jirax can get this hook, he waits for it, but the blink just in the nick of time.
That was a perfect rock from Fly. I think Winter Wyvern was about to get at least a 3-man curse, I believe. But he didn't get it off in time because the stun came as the hook was falling down, or as the hook was coming in. And that is a lot of gold going the way of OG.
Yep.
I don't really think they can contest this rush unless they get a really good Winter Wyvern ultimate. But how's he just
Blink.
gonna walk in there?
The crush is off. S4 look for the call. Won't happen. The curse is only on a solo S4. This won't achieve anything. And No-Tail was initiated on by Burning, but now is Burning on the wrong side of the tracks. Fatal Bonds will connect him to the Winter Wyvern. Support is there in the form of the Slana. Not to mention, you got a small little Weaver running around the back lines. If they can keep the stuns on him, then maybe they got a chance with a Gus. The silence is there. Pudge will go down to Burning, but you've lost your Weaver. Back over the fight next to the Shrine. Too early on the dunk. He was just trying to kill off Burning S4. He just didn't have enough damage. Burning didn't toggle at the right time for him. And now is No-Tail realizing with open wounds, Livestealer, he's going to run right over them. DK has to armor toggle his way to freedom too. So we're in two different fights. The Cold Embrace allowing Livestealer to survive just that little bit longer. Your Fatal bonds them up, and this will be a sacrifice in from Fly. And IG, they successfully contest the death of Roshan.
OG split up when they kind of retreated. Like half of them went up into the river and then half of them went to the right into the shrine. And the Weaver was in the back line keeping track of the Gyro Ranger just so he could be in melee range and sacrifice his life. But in the meantime, the Ember and the Livestealer just went on the back lines on the right side. IG will finally claim the prize, Roshan.
I was actually waiting for Jirax to go for the hook because he moved into the right position for it. He got around the back of the Ancient area and he could hook into the edge of the pit from there and have the Ancients work a little bit for you.
I think without Aether Lens, it's...
Yeah, it was a low percentage chance. But you can still see him itching for it.
Low percentage play.
Just arrived a little too late. Yes, it is. It's accurate. What do you want about, Ben?
Low percentage might be overestimating it, Toby. Hook doesn't go that far. Are you a Pudge player?
Sometimes, actually. I definitely have a lot of experience getting hooked by Pudge.
I think as does every Dota player. Congratulations, Toby. You play Dota.
He's the hero of the patch. Yes.
I think he's a support of the patch, at least in pubs.
100% win rate and low priority.
A golden thread.
That's an easy way to tell people, too. Just take their creep wave away from their lane. I think you can do it in, what, 2 out of 3? Actually, I guess you can pull all 3 of the lanes on either side.
OG are grouping up. They're looking for something. Now, the scan came on bottom lane, so Anna's going to show himself now. So IG already thinking that OG were planning something here. Now, with the Slana, it looks too juicy to go in on the DK. Way too juicy. And Anna needs another 30 gold, and then he's got his own Blink Dagger. So there's that stun initiation that comes from Anna, or at least his ability to keep up with the axe.
It's hard to blink initiate, though, because of the Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern with the Cold Embrace just kind of stops everything in their
Is he
tracks.
going for it?
Ooh,
Okay. Ships in the night.
You need an Observer Ward over there. That would make things a lot better. Q maybe going to drop it over here, but...
Where are all their obs? Like, they put one defensive one inside their jungle, but every other ops for IG is timed out. And OG have been very defensive with their wards. Up on the hillsides, around their own shrines near Roshan, and one deeper in their jungle, which times out in a second. Or 5.
Yeah, I don't think they want to fight. The shrine's up, which makes the fight a whole lot more difficult for them.
OG is also really close to finishing up the Hurricane Pike, and having that maneuverability on the Gyro Ranger, forcing something before you've got that is maybe not the greatest idea.
I think that's the most important item on the side of OG. They need to keep the Gyro Ranger alive. She needs to scale as well as the Lifestealer is going to steal in this game. Scale.
Whoops. S4 Blade Mail called, but didn't blink.
Dire's bottom tower is under
So,
attack.
missed the initiation timing he was hoping for over on the axe. Jirax, quick hook into the Gust, doesn't get the silence over on Burning, which was the desired effect. Denial of the tower, perfect from
Dire's
No-Tail.
bottom tower has been denied.
Yeah, great timing from him. That should almost be his Hurricane Pike too. They don't really want to fight into the Aegis of the Lifestealer unless it's in a really well fortified position. I think the T2 is actually worse to defend than the T1 because the T1 they have the high ground ward and they have the shrine available to them. With the T2, the shrine is kind of just not really an option, and you're retreating onto the low ground if you have to back off from the fight. I like the Blade Mail build. Armor is really key here, so he can survive the burst, and hopefully Ember Spirit won't have to get cold embraced by the Winter Wyvern. You don't really want to reveal your position that early as a Winter Wyvern in the fight. You want to set up for that perfect Winter's Curse. I don't even know who you curse here. It's pretty tough.
Slala's on the hunt. You're going to
hook.
go around the back. Yeah, the Weaver's going to die, but kind of
They
waiting.
don't have Observer Wards. Like, Who's he going to jump? The Dragon Knight has a blink.
Well, they see him now. They blink him in, but Fly's still in the neighborhood, so he'll drop down the rock, starts with Feather Bonds, Anna out of Dragon form, and then quickly speed himself away, and with a double gust from No-Tail. Remember, they're all still connected. Axe will get the call off. Support's coming in. The dunk was a little bit too early, so Burning protected by the cold embrace, but he's got no other teammates with him. So now you're able to get Aegis the Immortal up, or burnt, called in, and then just a quick maneuver down the mid lane with the Dragon form up. Okay, maybe not that quick. Jirax dropping down a little bit low, but thanks to Ghost Scepter, he can protect himself.
OG's showing a tremendous amount of discipline. Like, notice how they only kind of show with the Dragon Knight. They want him to go to Dragon Knight, but they didn't really bite last time, but they know that that's the easiest way for them in order to fight. Go in the Dragon Knight, counter-initiate. He even had a haste in the bottle, so he was not really close to dying at all. And a call will catch out another hero.
It's Weaver once again.
Yeah. And IG just got really impatient going on the DK there. If they had a reserve reward, they could have just went onto the Warlock, but I think the warding from the Radiant side has just been rather lackluster this game. JRX almost gets a dismember onto the Ember Spirit.
I'm wondering if that's also the impatience of the failed gank on bottom lane. Like, you went down there, you're looking for a kill, and then you rotate over towards the mid, and it's like, it's another infest I'm committing to make this work. Like, you really need to find a kill from this.
On top of the invest, it's just a lot of time. He's not able to get on top of net worth. Like, he's just 2,000 ahead. He was 2,000 ahead before, but it's when you're in the slight lead with the agents, you're supposed to be able to increase that gap even further. And that's before she had the Pike. Now with the Pike, we actually see a Ghost Scepter next on the Quick 5 for the Drow Ranger. Pretty important. There's two ways to go about it. One is force staff your teammate, or one is build armor / physical mitigation. In terms of Ghost Scepter, or I guess you see AC occasionally, not really on Drow Ranger, but other heroes if they do want to tank the Infest Bomb.
Is it still worthwhile also finishing up the full Ether Blade?
I definitely think so. Then you can actually save your Warlock potentially. And it's a lot of agility on the Ethereal Blade. I think that's one of the most underrated parts about the Ethereal Blade. It's how much agility it gives.
Because Drow Ranger's never going to shrug off agility.
Nope.
Like right now, she's already giving plus 60 damage to all the range heroes on the field, and that includes the Warlock. And Fly is trying to build himself up for the later portion of the game. 15 experience gain, confidence in his teammates so they can have some really good fights together.
The thing about him is, like, 6 all-stats doesn't matter. 6 all-stats is a little over 100 HP. That's not going to save him from death. The mana, not really too useful. 6% attack speed and 1 armor is not that useful. And they do have a scan. It does hit. Ember Spirit is out. He didn't pop any smokes on his way out with the Remnant, but they definitely know what's going on there with the smoke just southwest of that bottom rune spot.
It's actually kind of crazy how hard the DK hits. I was just doing the math that
yeah, he hits really hard.
He's got the Drow Ranger aura, which is giving him 62, and he's got already the plus 40 in his talent tree. So with just that increase, like, you're already gaining over 100. And he's cranked up to 222, and this is 25, 26 minutes in.
And that's before he toggles on his armlet.
This is troublesome for IG, just how much damage being pumped out, but they've had really good initiations. If they can keep that up, if they can find that opening with really good vision, then there's a bit of chance for them.
I think there's a big chance that it could be botched, though. Like, if Drow Ranger pops Ghost Scepter right before they stun, it's going to be really bad. If Pud pops Ghost Scepter right before, it could be really bad. If Drow Rangers manage to force staff that target out, if Warlock manages to drop his rock down before the target dies, like, so many things I think can go wrong for IG in the team fight, and I think the only thing that can go really right for them is one big Winter's Curse, which we actually have not seen yet from Q on this Winter Wyvern. He's struggling to get any sort of mobility item. Generally, you want, like, Blink Glimmer Cape, I would say, is kind of your core items for Winter Wyvern. Occasionally, you'll see Aether Lens, but I think Blink is much better, personally.
But he needs the space to get that. Like, with Splendid Blast, normally you could find a lot of farm.
It's because he tanked too many hooks in the early game, so he died in a couple of those team fights and he hasn't been able to survive. Surviving is the best way to accrue gold on a support.
But this Wyvern's not really getting that. So Wyvern needs a little bit more space. And the Ember Spirit's still building in, so he's going for a Maelstrom. So normally with the spellcasters, we've been seeing them going more Radiance kind of style.
I think they just want something now. Radiance is, I think, definitely better if you can get to 50, 55 minutes into the game, but I think that there's going to come this point where OG come bursting down with their BKBs and their big mid-game items and try and take Roche and bully down all these two towers and then the Shrine, and Ember wants to be prepared for that moment.
Doesn't it mess you up a little bit, though? Because then you got both Blade Mail as well as Maelstrom. Like, I suppose you can finish the Maelstrom into a Mjolnir.
What's wrong with having Blade Mail and Maelstrom?
Just because your item slots are going to get a little bit clogged up.
It synergizes really well with his talents, first of all. You get the cooldown reduction, and you get the spell amp. We're very good on both of those. And on top of that, you have the BOTs, so you're much less cramped for space than other heroes. He still has one spot left even after that. Still has Bottle for like Octarine, and then upgrade the Maelstrom to Mjolnir. So he still has a lot of room to grow before he even considers running out of slots. And on top of that, they give the Aegis to Burning generally, so he's not going to need that 6th slot for that. I'm just more concerned about like the Ghost Scepters. The Ghost Scepters are going to be pretty disruptive in the team fights, as well as the Hurricane Pike. So I think Radiance would have been better for them in the team fights, but not if of course, if they fight in the next 5 minutes when he wouldn't have the Radiance to begin with.
And then it's up to IG to try and hold off before the fight. Like right now, they're keeping the pressure on top lane by just combining the Weaver as well as the Wyvern together, forcing into the tier 2 tower. Like you throw out bugs galore. Keeps the creep wave at bay, then Splinter Blast as well. OG always on the defense. And OG actually farming inside their own jungle, so not even able to utilize the lanes at the moment. Gives a lot more space to the Ember, who is by far the top net worth. He's up there by about 2k. Yeah, 1.5k.
And number 2 and 3 on net worth are the Lifestealer and the Dragon Knight, both competing to carry that AC as soon as possible. Lifestealer has won that war, picking up his AC just about 30 seconds ago, and DK is very close to his. So a lot of these minus armor and plus armor canceling each other out.
Oh, fresh 4-staff up.
Top lane, Blink, Call, Blade Mail.
Weaver should still have more than enough time to time-lapse out. But there's no one else coming from IG, so S4 initiates. Thanks to IG's nice ward inside the Dire jungle, they can see Jirax moving over, and Jirax going to feel pretty comfortable. Like, that sentry ward's only just out of range of the obs. So they're not going to feel watched in that area.
Yeah, he's going to feel pretty good about that. Or pretty good in that area, at least. So, Infest inside the Slaughter. I want to make use of this AC. Roshan is right about to respawn, about the 10-minute mark. But both teams, neither teams do... Oh, it spawned... No. I'm surprised there's no HUD in this game. I guess it's not that surprising given the heroes, but I can't remember the last game I've seen without a Helmet Dominator on either side.
Well, the Axe is going for an Octarine instead of the Dominator, so you didn't even get that from him. Or, sorry, for the pipe or anything like that.
I like the cooldown reduction, for sure.
Oh. That's a blind blink.
So Roshan going to be up
now.
Well, it's been up, but both teams... Probably about the time, at least get wind of Roshan being up, trying to get that gank with the Infest. But there are no easy targets, and IG still with a lack of good vision onto the Dire side of the map. They had that one ward close to the top bounty room, but that's really not going to see anyone. OG would much rather be closer to the Roshan area than up in that area. I guess maybe they might take the T1, but that's kind of unnecessary at this point. They can just use Precision Armor to push out the lanes. Unotel already tried that 60 seconds ago.
But for now, IG seem like they're able the ones to at least start the fight. If OG can't keep dodging this and being put in bad position. So Roshan gets pinged out once again. That's the Dire scanning on top of Roshan, probably hoping that someone's going to walk through the pit, and yeah, it just pinged off. So they understand that someone's gone inside the pit, but it's already too late. With all that amplification, all the damage onto Roshan, the hook will fly in, but it's too late. Burning as the Aegis the Immortal, and the damage is done.
They thought they were clear with that green scan because the Lifestealer and the Slaughter blinked inside, so they didn't actually trigger the scan.
I guess they came through the back end. But this is great for IG now. Now they actually have a license to fight. They still have to be careful. Even with an Aegis the Immortal, it won't help you if you get caught out by Warlock's Golem. If that rock drops right on top of you, then yeah, you're going to lose your entire team, and the Aegis is just more of like that extra thing at the end.
Yeah,
that OG just have to kill off.
That's exactly what happened last time. They need to be able to kill the supports on the side of OG. Pudge is also very good at locking down a Lifestealer during the rage and keeping him from being a big threat in team fights.
Well, they get the gust off. Anna finds the Ember Spirit. They hook him back into the Dismember, plus the call. Ember Spirit, there goes your rock. Stunning over the Slaughter. The cold arrow will connect, which slows him up enough, which maybe S4 can catch him. But then the curse, it only catches the Dragon Knight. Another gust. So you can say goodbye to the Slaughter. Jirax will miss his hook, and that's because the Weaver running back past the tier 2 tower, up into the corner. No one is nearby with a stun. They'll be able to cancel off that TP, but the Ember Spirit and the Slaughter, they're the casualties. You keep the Aegis up.
It looks like Ember was like not in that great of a position there, but he felt pretty safe because that's kind of where they had control of earlier. That's where their earlier ward was, but mostly it's because the Winter Wyvern doesn't have any items. He wasn't able to save him from getting Blink Stun into Hook, into Dismember, which is how he died. JRX turns around and he's burning. He's out there.
He holds him.
By
Burning.
himself.
Okay, look at all the life coming back in. But S4, he'll get the call off. This allows Notel more time to attack, but not when Wyvern gives the cold embrace. They have to go for another gust. Don't let him back inside that rage. Still on cooldown for 2 more seconds. With a hook down, they have enough damage. They'll burn the Aegis Immortal. Weaver's now here to help out, but the Dragon Knight's rotating into the mid. They put down the sentry ward, so they see the Weaver. So Blink, Call, and OG change the targets. They don't get the cull. Oops! That's not the hero we meant to hook, but it won't matter if Notel can keep the control on him with a 4-star from the Slaughter. Space being created by burning, but he's being stunned up, and now with the extra help maybe from the Slaughter, but no S4. Another fantastic call. The Llama's just watching the action. Prime pole position. OP will be able to get 2 of the kills, but Jirax will finally put him down. OG with 3 heroes up, all on low life. The Slaughter would love a crack at this. He's got the 4-star and Blink Dagger available, so Blink, amplification up, but he's got no other friends, or does he? The curse is out. Anna will turn around and actually end Jirax's spree, and we go once again looking for the crush. Blink off cooldown right now, but even with even with all the Dragon Blood armor, Anna's careful, and he's back.
Winter Wyvern was so close to his Blink Dagger then, but IG going in 3v5 at that point. Wyvern didn't have a blink, so she was trying to run away, but a Dragon Knight just chased her down with a Blink Dagger and just killed the Winter Wyvern. And Lifesteal was just out left on his lonesome. Get gusted into calls, into stuns. They have plenty of control that can deal with a fairly long cooldown on the Rage. And he is very farmed, but he didn't have hardly any uptime in that fight, starting off with the Ghost Scepter and the Hurricane Pike onto the Pudge. So firstly, they just need to work together a little bit more. Use the Slaughter to lock people down so that you can kill them inside the Slithering Crush. You don't want time for them to be able to drop the rock, use Force Staff, use Ghost Scepter. You just need to kill them straight up at the start of the fight. That's the most important thing. The second thing is that Winter Wyvern needs to be in position for a good Cold Embrace and a good Winter's Curse. It's extremely difficult because of the tough game that he's had in the last 30 minutes and because of how keen OG are at hunting him down. But he is one of the most important heroes in these team fights. Like Warlock, he's generally just going to be very safe in the back. He even has a little bit of evasion from the Solar Crest, so that's I actually like that build a lot. It will help a lot with the burst from the Life Stealer, but you can kind of pretty much count on him getting off his spells. It's more of Winter Wyvern being the wild card in these team fights that IG need to pull through.
Yeah. If they can't use him, maybe they can actually just get OG to expend a large amount of their abilities. With the Aghanim Scepter completed over on Weaver, this is going to make OG's instant kill targets a lot harder to get because this puts Axe in a rough position. He has to know where that Weaver is at all times.
Yeah, they're mostly counter-initiating though. I don't think the Axe Weaver is as good this game as in most of the other games. I think it's really good if they like constantly kill and jump a target over and over.
Jirax! Hello! Guess the hook. Perfect gust follow-up.
Yeah, poor Winter's Wyvern. But yeah, if the Winter Wyvern's not really doing anything, then they definitely need the Weaver to step up that defensive role. Slack.
Wyvern was just a little bit too far forward. Now Anna with 40 seconds without a Wyvern, a blink call. That's a big one, but nope. Are they able to find it? Ember Spirit able to get away as they just chain up the back line of OG. But Notel just attacked from the low ground. Anna's fine. He can actually continue to tank this up. And he's just worried about the Blink Crush. It's over on Notel, the hook, trying to actually save. But S4 again has to go in for the call. They get the rock drop as well, not to mention the gust onto Ember Spirit. Very difficult for IG to keep pumping out this damage. Well, they keep getting controlled and silenced up, but now they have the opportunity. Chaotic Offering is down. They want to go for a kill, and that's why Slaughter moving quickly forward. Four Staffs over, jumps up, gets the crush off. S4 will drop. Anna's trying to help out. Nortel has to push himself away from burning and goes up to TP away to safety. Anna's also creating space, but doesn't have a TP scroll available. It's still inside of his stash, or inside of his backpack. So he'll have to be the sacrificial lamb to keep the Drow Ranger alive. Fly will fall as well, and that's actually a Gem of True Sight being lost. A lot of heroes from OG falling for very little gain.
Really nice play from the Ember Spirit. He's going in really, really deep and using the Blade Mail to keep himself alive while being able to play very, very aggressively. And now he has pretty much all the items that he needs. He's just missing level 25, I would say, at this point, to be a complete nuisance. And this is... I thought they were going to push a lot after that chain feed in the mid lane, but now I think IG right back in. Unfortunately for them, no Roshan going to be available for them, but I don't know. Having that gem is going to be very problematic. The Drow Ranger probably thought she would get a lot more mileage out of her Shadow Blade, but Notail probably feeling sad about the gem loss, and he's constantly just having to sit in the trees and not hit creeps.
Yeah, it's really not a happy time for Drow Ranger. But the tier 2 tower, it's a great time for IG. Keep the pressure on, keep pushing down with the Blink Dagger on Ember. It can always initiate in, doesn't rely on the Slaughter.
They just need
and finally, you're actually going to get the Blink Dagger on the Wyvern.
Oh yeah, that... Wow.
Yep.
A little bit late for him, but better late than never.
You only need one really good ulti from him to help like IG, I don't say win the game, but definitely gain full control of this map. Yes. And that's what they do. Like, they just push down the mid lane. Now Ember Spirit gets the farm from the bottom. He'll jump back to his Remnant in a bit, and then probably join the rest of his teammates, still securing the Roshan area.
Yeah, it's still a very tight game. Ember Spirit really trying to prioritize his level 25. I think once he gets the Mjolnir too, if he puts it on the Slaughter or the Lifestealer, like you can just kind of run in with that hero, not really care about, you know, not really care about anything. Or you can just put on the Ember Spirit himself. You can just life leech off the Maelstrom procs and just be a complete nuisance in the fight. So there is no BKB on the Drow Ranger, and there finally is one on the Dragon Knight. So Drow Ranger going to be the primary target to focus down if you're IG and save if you're OOG.
The Gem of True Sight carry is finally coming out to get that Observer Ward. This is going to be a very blind OG. So with the death of this Observer Ward, they actually don't have any real vision anymore. It's only the creep waves they have to work with.
Slaughter looks like he's going to be hunting for the Drow Ranger. He has Shadow Bladed up, but Notail is in the trees, and there is no smoke and no Drow Ranger, so XSS will actually TP to the shrine. They're looking for a kill on a way far out.
Yeah, Anna is trying to be this bait. He got Val Discord up, but they jumped through the back lines, pushing forward. Do they have enough? They've already brought down Fly, and now S4 into the cover of the BKB. Can maybe help out his teammate Anna, who's inside the river, but split in multiple parts. Amber called up again. The Culling Blade a little bit off timing, but it won't matter. The Ember Spirit is down. Does he want to buy back to try and tilt this fight around? DK, cold embraced. Actually cursed up for the moment. The Crush will be there. Lifesteal is in, trying to kill off Anna, but again S4 trying to create more space, calling up, blade mailing up. Anna is having to toggle his way through this till finally they get the Crush off at Invictus Gaming. Can they turn this up? S4, he's locked in. He willingly called into that fight.